Hello, Carolyn here with Road and Country. I wanted to do a video on this girl here. She's a little wet on the back right now because I just did a ivermectin treatment for her. I do this quarterly on all my rats as preventative. Anyway, she's a senior female of mine, and what I wanted to show, because I know some people will see a rat that looks kind of like this, just, very round, and may think that their rat is pregnant. But I want to kind of show off the difference, of what I'm looking at and why I know she's not pregnant. Basically, if you notice from where her head starts, her head is very small, and the enlargement for her starts from the neck all the way back. If this was a pregnancy, the part that would be enlarged would be behind the shoulders. So basically, she looks like a pear, and so this tells me she's not pregnant. So in her situation, there could be a couple things that would cause this, one of which is obesity. In her case, it's obesity. But how I would check to see, is it a tumor or is it a uterine infection, is I would palpate. And when you palpate, if there's a tumor or an infection in there, it's going to feel like a firm ball inside. And it's going to be fairly firm. Sometimes if it's not advanced, it may be a little squishy. And obviously that would be, definitely an emergency, especially if it's a uterine infection, where they would need to do a spay. If the rat is very old, like she is, this girl here is about 3.5. And if that was the case with her, then probably the best outcome for her would be to put her down. But other than that, in this case, she is just an obesity issue, so I have to control feed, make sure that she gets low percent protein, and try to keep her as occupied as possible, to get her some exercise. But I just wanted to make this little video here because occasionally I do get some, whether they be boys or girls, that will have obesity issues. And honestly, I can't say there's any rhyme or reason for it. And if we look back at when rats first started, being developed as pets, a lot of them started from laboratory strains. And, it could have been a strain that was worked, on obesity and diabetes issues. And so somewhere down the line, it's possible that both the parents on her may carry a gene for that. However, I've not noticed, for say, where her siblings had, similar issues. So sometimes it's just an oddity. But I wanted to make this video so for those of you who have pet rats and maybe have just gotten the rat and you're thinking, oh gosh, I think it might be pregnant. First, figure out how old the rat is. Was it ever exposed to a male? If it's questionable, kind of look at the rat in itself. Does it look like basically it's one big, baseball starting from the ears back? Or does it start more from the shoulders back? That's one way to kind of look at it. Okay, so here is another one. Again, I just sprayed her with some ivermectin, so she's a little wet there on the back. But again, this one is an overweight issue. But I wanted to show, once again, if you look closely, the fatty or roundest part starts basically from the ears back. So it's kind of like you have a head and then a baseball. And that's typically going to be a rat that's overweight, or it could be a tumor or a uterine infection. With uterine infection, basically what happens is the uterus fills up with pus, so much so that it ends up being, it could be almost a baseball size pus pocket, which then could make the rat appear pregnant, but it most likely will look very round like this. So pregnancy typically will show more from the shoulders back. So there'll be a little bit almost like a peanut shape versus a pear shape. And I'm not sure, let's see if I can hold her on her back here. If you're looking at it from the bottom, again, you can kind of see where, hang on, sweetheart. I know it's not comfortable. Let me see. Can I put you on your back a minute? Good girl. Okay. So again, okay. You can see just how big she's just big all around. This is just a good comparison, so that if you have one that looks like this, it's not a bad idea to have a vet check it out to make sure that it's nothing more than just fat rat, and not a tumor or a uterine infection. Now, I've had rats that look like this and have uterine infection and show absolutely zero signs of being sick. And so it just because they're like this from uterine infection, don't think that they're going to appear sick or be off in any way, because a lot of times they don't until it becomes septic. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. And if you feel that these videos are helpful, please thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Thank you.